Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. This is another episode of Robert's Thoughts. So it's unedited, just pure my thoughts on an episode of a Marvel show, which is important to me a lot, of course. And I do apologize for this late upload. I was in Florida when Loki came out, and I honestly was a little afraid I wasn't going to watch it till Thursday. But I was able to watch it Wednesday afternoon. We had a little bit of a lull in what we were doing, so I was like, whip out my phone and watch Loki. And I have thoughts. So I'm going to share them with you. And not all of them are positive, and being completely honest with you. And I'm just going to start with the premise. And there are some spoilers for Loki episode 1 here, so I apologize if, I do spoil anything. Which I will. I will spoil things. This is a really cool idea. I'm really scared Marvel's going to screw it up. And it's not that I don't trust them, it's just that I don't know if we're ready for this, right? I don't know if we as a Marvel community are ready for this big of a jump, right? Like, alright, I'm going to gloss over the major storyline first, and I'll come back to it later, but the general idea that Loki has skipped out on the 7 years of character development that he has had in the MCU, and is all of a sudden just kind of flying over that, kind of is annoying to me, because like now he's got to restart, and it doesn't feel like he's restarting as much as he should, right? This should be a huge thing for him, and he kind of was like, oh, cool, and like that was it. And I feel like that is a big gloss over that Marvel did, which I understand, because he's trying to push this along. I don't know how many episodes this is. I think it's 10. But I don't know. And I am sad that we didn't see a bigger change in Loki overall. In terms of the fact that he literally is in 2012, and he didn't see anything from the Dark World or any of the other movies that he's been in, like Infinity War and Endgame and Ragnarok and all that stuff. And so I just feel like we should have seen a bigger impact. And then there's that part where he's watching himself do those things that he hasn't done, and feeling these emotions that don't really make sense, because I just by judging from what he was watching, I would have been confused. I wouldn't have been like, oh, my brother, I died. I'd be like, well, it's not real. And like, because he does not believe in the TVA, which is the Time Variance Authority. But whatever. That is something that I am concerned about. I don't think it was bad per se. I am worried that Marvel will continue to do this with not only Loki but other characters. So I am concerned. In terms of the villain of the story so far is also Loki, a different variant of Loki, and I personally have reasons to believe it is the female Loki. I think it is the female Loki. I don't think it's the male Loki. I think it is the female Loki. And a large portion of that is because we didn't actually see Loki in the end. We saw the shadow of Loki. I do believe it's the female Loki. I cannot confirm this, of course, but I do think it is a female Loki. I kind of hope it is. That'd be kind of cool. And I think that they're ready to do this right now. And I think that Marvel and Marvel fans in general, I think, are also ready to see this. So I am excited for that. In terms of the Time Variance Authority, I mean, Owen Wilson's freaking hilarious and really awesome in this show so far. I was a little concerned, ka-chow, but like, it's really good so far. I really am liking him. I've always liked him, but I just love cars, so I was a little nervous about that. But I love his voice and shit. It's so cool. I'm really excited about it. He's gonna be really, really good in this show. I can feel it. Loki himself, I am a little on where he's going right now. I don't know how to feel about it, because this should have set up everything, the first episode, but it really didn't. I do wish that it was maybe a little bit longer, or at least a little bit tighter in terms of how they were setting up the show, but that's okay. Then that Infinity Stones are pointless in this timeline, because it is technically a separate timeline. It isn't a separate timeline, which is why I was kind of confused, because here's the thing, right? Infinity Stones don't work unless they're in its original timeline, which it should be in the same timeline, because in the original timeline, Loki leaves his original timeline, which is why time travel movies don't work. They just don't. So I am a little annoyed at this whole timeline shift thing that doesn't really quite make sense. I get it, but it doesn't really quite make sense, if you know what I mean. And I think that majority of the reason why it's such a problem right now, right, is because we have just finished the Infinity Saga, and our brains are still who's next, right? And like, of course, as soon as the first episode came out, I was like, Mephisto, and like, it's not Mephisto. Okay, calm down, Jesus. It's annoying. It really is. And I think that with the Infinity Stones not working, while technically it doesn't make sense as it is in the main timeline, the TVA exists in the main timeline. It's more just Marvel saying, listen, stop worrying about the Infinity Stones. They're not going to be a problem. And I appreciate that, because we are moving on. We're officially done with that. That being said, Infinity Stones still exist in the original timeline. They are where they would have been when when Iron Man snapped his fingers, but then Cap brought him back. So it's like, we don't really know where they are right now. And honestly, the one that Loki had should be the real one. So I am interested to see where that goes. I honestly don't know where the show is going. I'm assuming we're going to have this really cool epic Loki v Loki battle in the end, but I think it will be female Loki for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons being budget, because they're going to just hire a female actress and not have to have, Loki on one side of the screen and Loki on the other side of the screen and have this crazy green screen battle. They're like, how do we do this? Oh, just make her a female. Perfect. And then that works. I'm really excited to see that happen. And I appreciate that. I don't remember how many episodes there are going to be, but I'm assuming they're all about 50 minutes each. I was pretty happy with the length of this one, actually. I think it felt really good. It rode smoothly, although I do wish that it was at least tighter or maybe a little bit longer to add for a little bit more development here. But overall, I am really satisfied with the show. I think it is funny. I think it's cool. It is very MCU feeling, and I am excited to see what they do with it, albeit I am a little nervous as well. So we shall see. But those are my thoughts for the first episode, so thank you for listening and watching if you guys like that. I do this every single Wednesday. Pardon my lateness today, but every other Wednesday will come out Wednesday morning right after I watch it, which will probably be about 7 a.m. But I don't know, I'm moving next week, so we'll see. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Once we get to 150 subscribers, I'm dressing up like Spider-Man, going to Walmart and filming it for you guys. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing and following along. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.